Hey everyone, Dave here. Welcome to a new Raid Shadow Legends video. Today the fusion for Emec Trunkheart started, and as we were talking before, he's a Void Lego, he's one of, I wouldn't say one of the best, but he's a really good champ in filling a specific role. So if you want to go for this fusion, it needs some planning, to do some proper planning. I have some color coding on the plan behind me, and we'll talk about it now a little bit. From the testing that official content creators for the game did with access to test servers, he's good, but he's not like the best ever in the game or anything. Some clan boss comps are already coming out on how we can use him in an unkillable comps and all of that stuff. The main thing is, if you're drained, if you don't have enough resources coming out of the Newt Heart fusion, and you have your unkillable team sorted, if you're getting top chest from Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare clan boss daily, this guy is not a must. If you're not getting that alternate nightmare chest yet, this guy is definitely worth it for you because he will give you that jump into from mid game to end game, basically. So that's who you should or shouldn't do the fusion. It's going to be heavy on resources, and it's the second one in a row after Newt. So you should, like, I'll talk about the details here and what you need. You should plan for it properly. And if you don't have enough resources, don't even start because you'll waste a lot of resources and then you won't be able to finish it. Because if you see here, like we have those 4 epics, you need 100 fragments for each epic to fuse them into the Lego afterwards. So if you don't have enough resources, you'll basically fall short even by a single event, and then you won't be able to fuse the Void Lego. And that's exactly what we'll talk about today. Of course, I'm a couple of hours late because of work, but I hope I'll catch you up on things. We're still on the first day. You're in good shape to like chase everything that you need to chase there. So we'll start talking about it through the color coding that I've put there. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you like the video content that we're providing, browse the channel. You'll find lots of other useful videos there. I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. We're getting much closer to hitting those 1,000 subs and joining the official content creators program. So I really appreciate your help on this. Yeah. The color coding is a great idea. I think Nub Raids is the first one who did it, and I think now everybody's doing it because it gives clear visual clarity on what you need to do there. So let's start talking about the events that started today. Today is Thursday, August 3rd. So we have Dragon Tournament and Dungeon Divers. These are syncing exactly like their start and finish at the same time. So you're good there. Very simple. Start grinding Dragon as hard as you can today and try to get the Dungeon Divers point as well. If we talk about points, and Wizard Plarium is increasing the point requirement, at least for these 2 events, it doesn't look that bad. So we have 2,200 for the Dragon Tournament, 2,200, which is on par with like the previous events, and 3,700 or 3,700 for the Dungeon Divers event. This is the first one. So it's also the same as previous ones. So these are good. If you have enough energy saved and you still have the energy like me from the Clan v Clan that just finished, try to get the Dragon Tournament and Dungeon Divers, like most of it at least, by today, because tomorrow we'll have the Summon Rush, so that's shards, that's easy, and it's a 10x for Acresia, for Walking Doom Drang. Watch some of the other videos about who the champs for the tomorrow's 10x is. It's a 10x, it's not a 2x, but it has some really good champs for it. So depending on which champs you want to chase, choose which shards you want to open. My recommendation is to open Sacreds and Voids if you don't mind this, because the week after, which is Champ Chases Ancients 2x. So yeah, it's better to save your Ancients for next week. So anyway, try to get Dragon finished by tomorrow with Dungeon Divers. Why is this important? Today and tomorrow, basically, to knock off both of these events, because then you have champ training. And as I marked here, you see I marked these both in red because you'll do these at the same time. And then champ training is marked in green, in that light green. You'll need to start working on champ training Sunday till Tuesday. But then Monday or Sunday or Monday, Ice Golem will start. So the real thing here is that champ training, both events, are actually competing in resources with the dungeon diver and the dungeons events basically. So you need to choose to do this or that. How you can avoid one of these? We'll talk about this. Let's say that you have enough energy and gems saved so that you can do all of the dungeon divers and the dungeon events. You need silver. If you have enough brews and food saved, you can get the points for champ training just by feeding chicken to other champs and pumping all of your 2, 3, 4 star with brews. I have the champ training calculator always linked in the video's description. Just use that cheat and figure out how much food you can do. Use RSL helper, use multi battles or whatever you need. But the big thing to take care of there is that if you're using brews and chicken to knock out champ training fast, you'll need lots of server for this. From experience, you'll need around 3 or 4 millions to just get a champ training done, at least, maybe more. And we have 3 artifact enhancement events. So if you don't have enough silver saved, you might not want to do this. So how do you want to tackle this? Notice the color coding. Again, I'm getting into it here. You'll do Dragon Tournament with Dungeon Divers. You'll get this done. You start pumping some energy into champ training. You need lots of energy and maybe you need to add gems to this. By Monday, you can start doing Ice Golem. Wait, don't start Ice Golem, finish your champ training. Start Ice Golem when Dungeon Divers 2 start. Dungeon Divers 2 is split between Ice Golem. If you see it here, this is the yellow color coding here. And yeah, you can screenshot this because I'm not blocking anything on the screen. And then the second half of the Dungeon Diver 2, you'll do with Fire Knight Tournament. Then you'll go to Dungeon Diver 3, shown in orange here, which syncs with Fire Knight and Spider. So, again, to just reiterate quickly, Dungeon Diver 1 with Dragon, Dungeon Diver 2 between Ice Golem and Fire Knight, Dungeon Divers 3 between Fire Knight and Spider. So that's syncing perfectly there. You're double dipping in the points. The only thing that you'll need to take care of there is that knock these points as fast as possible, then invest the other energy into getting champ training done, champ training 1 and champ training 2. Champ training 2 is running for quite a long time, but it's overlapping with the other dungeons events. And the thing is, it looks like it will be a tougher one. Which brings me to an important point. Other than this, so far it's formed like a very traditional fusion. The only caveat is that from all of these fragments on top of that line, you need to get all of them 100% to fuse those 4 epics. But we have like sort of an additional summoning event that will probably sync with CVC in Tuesday and Wednesday. It has 50 fragments in it. I don't expect this to be cheap. That's what all the content creators also are doing. Like for the first summon rush here, 25 points, and the second champ chase where we can chase with saved fragment fusions. Probably by this time, you will have at least 2 epics. Don't fuse them yet. Wait till this event. They will give you 500 points out of the gate. Any saved fragments, relic keepers, broadmaws, all of the ways we talked about in previous videos of how to get points ready for champ chase. And it will be 2x ancients. Probably all of you have quite a few ancients saved. If you get lucky and you get a couple of Legos, hopefully that would be good. Or some epics, you might even get the fusion epics from there, then you'll be covered there. So everything above the line is the same, like normal fusions. Like Classic Arena, we got 2 events. These are usually easy if you are in Gold 1 or above. Gold 4, they are super easy. We have 3 artifact enhancement events, not 2. So make sure while farming those dungeons and getting those points, you have enough silver saved. Like by the time you finish Artifact Enhancement 1 and before Artifact Enhancement 2 starts, you would have saved at least 10 to 12 millions to make sure that you won't fall short here. Same for the third event. So farm as much as you can. If you farmed enough points for this, make sure that while you're doing champ training, you're generating enough silver for this event, you're selling artifacts or whatever, but make sure you have enough silver. And like I said, let me repeat this again because it's important. If you're getting champ training points by feeding brews and chickens into champion, make sure that you'll have enough silver saved after you finish this for artifact enhancement event. Now I'm going back to that summon rush that I've highlighted in yellow at the bottom here. This is an additional event with 50 fragments. So if you have a few additional sacreds saved, and you don't mind opening these for that event, if you get to those 50 fragments, we have no idea how high the points for this event would go. But if you got those 50 fragments, you can skip two events. So let's say that you can skip the second champ training, which looks like it's going to be a brutal one, or you can skip the third artifact enhancement. You will only know by this Wednesday. So Wednesday, you have enough sacred saved from Clan Boss, or you bought like a pack or whatever you want, and then you did this, you can skip these two events. But my suggestion would be champ training, second champ training, that longer one, and the third artifact enhancement. But it's up to you. Maybe you have a lot of champ saved and you want to do champ training. Maybe you have a lot of silver saved, so this event is easy for you. Then you can do those as well. So you either do all the events above the line, or if you get those 50 points, my suspicion is that to get those 50 points, you might need from 7 to 8 sacred shards saved. This is just a guess because we never had that additional event before. For the summon rush here, usually it's around 4 sacreds and a few voids or mystery shards. The summon rush points usually for the epic, unless they bump the points for it, we'll see by tomorrow I guess, is around 2500. 4 sacreds will give you 2000. 5 sacreds will give you the 2500s on the dot. So you'll need 5 sacreds. And ancients, you'll open all of your ancient champ chases is totally variable. Sorry, champ chase here, because it depends on whether you're getting epics or what. But again, champ chase is usually a bit easier because you can use relic keepers, broadmoors, saved fragments from the past to do this event. So yeah, again, let's go through this color coding. Whatever things that has the same color, you can double dip and do them together. So the things in yellow, red, and then the last dungeon divers and events in orange. I was running out of colors that will show on the background here. So Ancients 2X, really a good time to open charts anyway, so you won't have a problem with this. That event is going to be tough. So if you have an additional 10 sacreds saved, or lots of voids or whatever, it might be a good chance here. And as the other guys were saying, we're not sure. Maybe that would be a guaranteed champ event. So my suspicion, and consider this a prediction that might come true, they will hit us here with a guaranteed champ from ancient shards. So, but if you use your shards here, you won't be able to use them on Friday. But maybe if you get those 50 fragments, you can skip champ chase and then another event like champ training or artifact enhancement. This is just a guess. Last point I want to mention, which is very important for the fusion, all of these 4 champs are force affinity, red. So make sure you have enough from the medium and the bigger portions. I think that's greater and superior portion from the force potion keep to make sure that you have enough to pump into these. If you don't have these, then you'll need even more energy or more gems to farm these red potions to make sure that you can get these epics to level 50 and then fuse them into Emec Trunkheart. That would be it for today. We talked about the fusion. Hit that subscribe button if you didn't do so already. Hit a like, put your comments out there, any questions, and browse the channel for other content as well. I'll see you all in the next one. Keep playing great.